Oh, fuck off with that shit.
Right, are you ready?
Mate, I don't even need to be ready. Like, this is easy, bro.
Hi guys, and welcome back for what should have been episode 5 of our podcast series, but we're actually going to call episode 4.5. Now, I'm here with George again as well, and Marcus. Say hello, boys.
Hello.
Hello?
That's as friendly as it's going to get. So we're going to use this platform, this opportunity, to let you guys actually finish that minor disagreement that you began last time. Now, I want a fair fight. I want no foul language. I want no mums mentioned. I mean it.
Our dance. Okay.
Sit further apart. I want no scratching, no eye gouging, no biting.
No promises.
I want facts presented. I want numbers if you've got them.
Do you want me to do a boxing type intro?
Go for it.
In this corner, weighing in 112 pounds,
With a tiny penis.
Dan. Yes, it's 10 inches Kamel.
Thank you very much.
Oh shit, am I supposed to say Robert?
It's fine.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm worse.
I can do it. Dan, it's 10 inches definitely Robert.
Thank you.
And in the blue corner, or opposite corner, whatever they say. In this corner, weighing in at 220 pounds,
He lived in a pineapple under the sea.
George. Definitely don't touch me there. What?
No, I said don't touch me there.
So, boys, what was the question that we put to you last time? Was it a question? It was something we segued into, but Dan has recently. It triggered him, all right. Dan recently purchased a Nintendo Switch.
I did.
He got it on a really good deal after fondling someone's genitals. I heard. Yeah, I know.
No, I regret not saying Dan the genital fondler.
We asked him if it was good. He said, yeah, it was good. We asked him, is Zelda good? He said, yeah, Zelda is pretty good. The whole time, George was just shaking his head in pure disgust. And we said, what's the matter with you, mate? You know, what's the problem? And he said something along the lines of, I hate Nintendo. All their games are the same.
I did sound like
But he plays Football Manager every year.
Which makes this whole
and
thing
FIFA
pointless.
and all that. And both of them got very triggered. So I'm going to stop talking at this point. I'm going to hand the mic to you guys.
What's it?
Do you want that, Dan? Okay, right, fine. Dan, you go first. Pick up where you left off. I'm going to step out of the room.
First and foremost, obviously myself and George are friends, but
Not right now, we're not.
no, we're clearly not. But my issue with this whole thing is obviously your absolute disgust for Nintendo, right? Now, to level a proper argument at this, you know, in a will, I need to know why you have such disgust for a video game company.
I just don't like Nintendo. Straight up, have not liked Nintendo. I don't like the games. I think the way they market stuff is for family-based stuff. It's not for gamers. It's for family, right? The new Switch, don't get me wrong, all right? It's trying to be innovative. However, it's essentially what they're good at, which is handheld gaming. They've stuck to that, and they're trying to call it a console. They're trying to call it a console. It's not a console. It's a handheld. And that's what annoys me.
Okay, so you just mentioned there about, you know, they've tried to be innovative in everything else, and you just state that as a positive, right? So why are the Wii and the Wii U, maybe not so much the Wii U, because ultimately it failed as a commercial sort of product, but why is the Wii, prior to that the GameCube, why are they such terrible consoles if they are actually fairly innovative?
They're not. The iToy came first from PlayStation and did exactly the same thing as what the Wii did. Just
No.
the Wii. Nintendo took it and just based the Wii on it. Just like, here you go. Let's get people up interacting and stuff. All right, fair enough. It's great for families. It's great for parties. It's a party console. It's not for hardcore gamers.
My question to that though would be, how many games have you actually played on the Wii? First party, proper Nintendo titles have you played on the Wii? How many of the absolute 80% plus titles have you played on the Wii?
I owned a Wii for a total of 3 weeks before selling it.
And this is exactly my point. What games did you play on that Wii?
We had Wii Sports because it came with it.
Yeah.
Yep. We had Mario Kart 'cause it came with it. And we had Guitar Hero because that came with it.
And this accentuates my point in that actually it's completely uneducated to form that sort of opinion when you haven't actually played a majority of the games that are actually worthwhile playing. We're talking about the Zelda titles, we're talking about the Super Smash titles, we're talking about the new Super Mario Brothers titles, maybe not so much as the originals back in the day on the NES and the SNES and wherever else.
I mean, the same games that they've made each time.
But they're not the same.
Each time.
But they're not the same game every time, and this is the point. This is a man who sits here and states that he plays Football Manager and FIFA every year. And
I wouldn't say
else is
FIFA.
brilliant.
Well, I don't play FIFA every year.
I've seen the game time.
But I bought FIFA 17 because I haven't played a FIFA since FIFA 12.
And this is exactly my point. But they are essentially the same game year after year, if you would believe what's stated by the media. So what's different from playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which comes with 40 new characters, a completely new redesigned gameplay mechanic in general for the entire game, new sort of methods of item management, new courses and everything else. What's different compared from that when you compare that to Football Manager 17 from 16? I need to know. I really need to know because I'm interested. I will take your silence.
Is that the end of round one?
Pretty golden.
No, right. Football Manager is built specifically for that one thing. That is what Sports Interactive are doing with that game. That's all they have to worry about. Is Football Manager. Nintendo, rather than they're a massive company, rather than expanding stuff, they just take the same IPs over and over again. Right? It's only now they've only just have got to allow third party games on, haven't they? With the Nintendo Switch. That was one of the big selling points.
One of the biggest
third party developers are now being allowed to develop properly for the Switch.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to let you finish. To be absolutely precise, Nintendo throughout have allowed third party sort of.
Okay. But no one wants to develop.
Yeah, absolutely. Throughout the Wii's lifespan, the Wii U's lifespan predominantly, absolutely, third parties didn't really want to touch it. There were games that were released, Arkham, in fact, I think FIFA was. I might be wrong on that. But there were a number of third party games, but they weren't of any real sort of quality. Yeah, Call of Duty Ghosts was another one. But you roll back the clock, and actually, in fact, fuck it, let's roll forward the clock to the Wii U. Again, Wii U, either or. You've got titles like Pokken Tournament. You've got games like Mad World. You've got some really, really fantastic, unique, different games. And in fact, let's be honest, Resident Evil 4, which is the greatest game of all time, by a lot of people, named by a lot of people.
Witcher 3. Greatest game of all time.
Absolutely, probably now, absolutely. But at the time, Resident Evil 4 was the absolute boss, right? That was the game that Gears of War got their game mechanics from. That every third person cover shooter, they took mechanics and ideas from Resident Evil 4 because it was an absolute game changer. Where was that released first? Where was that originally released?
Don't know, I don't play Resident Evil.
Well, and this is it, and this is my point. You're missing out on so many fantastic games by secluding yourself within an environment
of the PC.
Yeah, absolutely fine. I own a PC as well, don't get me wrong. But this is my issue. The fact that you're reducing your consumption, your potential consumption of some really fantastic games, like Resident Evil, as an example, like, let's say, Pikmin, let's say, Super Smash Brothers, Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Brothers. You restricting yourself so much by sticking to one particular format and having some sort of undying hatred for one particular company.
Would
that
you
is
have an
at your
undying
detriment.
fanboy love?
No, I don't. I
You
really
do,
don't.
because otherwise why would you be so passionate
Do you know what?
about defending them so much?
Do you know what I have a love for, mate? Video games.
If you have-
That's what I have a love for. I don't have a fanboyism towards any certain company, any certain publisher, any certain developer. I have no obligation to talk them up and nobody else at the detriment of other companies. I have no need for that, because actually, as a gamer, I appreciate, if I can afford it, games from every single company on every single format, as long as they are worth my time. And believe you me, Nintendo have some of the greatest games of all time. And to me, you are missing out a hell of a lot because of that. Ooh.
George
That
just
sounds
looks like whatever.
It's just like, I don't care. Right?
You
And,
might not care.
You have valid points, fair enough. However, you will never make me change my mind on Nintendo.
That's fine. Nintendo don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not
That-
trying
that-
to win you over, George. He's trying to win over the people.
The
But-
people.
But that echoes back to the Sega Nintendo days, right? Of the 16-bit era, with the Genesis and the SNES, right?
It's because I had a
Super
Sega.
Famicom. Yeah, absolutely. So did I. Mega Drive was my console at the time. Streets of Rage, Golden Axe. I used to absolutely love my Sega Mega Drive. I did. And I was never a Nintendo fan back in the day, right? And to be quite honest, I'm not a Nintendo fan now. I'm a fan of good video games. That is what I'm a fan of. And with the Switch and Zelda, as a follow-on from that, they have developed quite possibly one of the greatest games of all time. And because you have some sort of allegiance to whether it's Microsoft or PC gaming in general,
I would
you're
say
missing
allegiance to Microsoft. No one has allegiance to Microsoft.
Anybody does it would be stupid right now. But
Exactly.
Anybody has an allegiance to any brand in particular is, in my mind, a pleb.
exactly.
No, fair enough.
But Steve,
There's no point.
surely you can agree that if you were to have some sort of absolute hatred for a certain brand, that was completely, essentially unfounded, and they were making brilliant products day in, day out, that is somewhat idiotic too.
Yes.
May
Thank
I
you.
step in from a non-gaming point of view
Yes, please do.
for one moment? To me, it would seem to be the same as saying I'll watch any movie from 20th Century Fox, but I won't watch one from Disney.
Basically, yeah.
That is the equivalent, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Which, with movies, if I said that, you look at me as if some kind of simpleton.
I mean, I
Fool, if you will.
yeah, for me personally, and I'll let you speak in a moment, George, obviously, but for me, I get the whole, oh my god, Ubisoft, they've developed The Division, let's say, or Ghost Recon Wildlands, right?
We might talk about Ubisoft in a minute.
Yeah, I get that, right? People might go into it with apprehension based off what they've received in the past from Ubisoft, which hasn't been a wholly reliable experience, let's say. It hasn't been a great experience, a great gaming experience from Ubisoft, right?
Mhm.
I get that. Same with EA, which you would agree with.
I
George.
fucking hate EA.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Most
I
gamers
honestly, I
don't
can,
like the EA
I can actually
model.
say I hate EA more than Nintendo.
Good grief.
There we go.
Didn't they do the Command & Conquer game?
They did. Westwood did, and then EA bought them out, and then they turned to absolute.
And then they
bullshit.
failed. They
Yeah.
just disappeared.
They're free on
Like most
Origin,
things,
aren't they?
Bullfrog and
Yes.
numerous
Yeah,
other-
if you own Origin Access for $3.99 a month, yes.
Yeah, let's not promote them here. But I get the apprehension about going into a product. Ghost Recon Wildlands, I probably won't buy it personally because I've kind of been burnt before by Ubisoft, right?
Yeah.
That's probably why I wouldn't do it, much like some of you in this room, right?
Mhm.
I get that. But when you're looking at a company like Nintendo, who, yeah, in the past necessarily haven't marketed a product towards you as a 20-something-year-old man, it's maybe family orientated, but have actually pretty much fucking delivered on every single product, first party product that they've ever released, right? Over the last God knows how many years, minus maybe Star Fox Zero on the Wii U, which was awful, right? They've nailed absolutely every single product that they've sold. Why would you take the stance of going, I don't trust them, I don't want to buy their product, I hate them as a company? If all they've done is provided absolutely outstanding video games, the only reason that you would do that is if you've never ever taken the time to play those games in the first place. To which you're missing out.
George.
I have played Nintendo 64 as the last console of Nintendo I actually enjoyed playing on. However, that's so long ago, and for me, I just don't like the games Nintendo bring out. I just haven't liked it. I've never enjoyed them. I've always been strategy, turn-based games like Rome Total War. That's my background. My background is that sort of stuff. So where does the Nintendo fit into what I like as well? It doesn't fit into that sort of basis, which is another reason why I've never touched it. And so I've just never liked it because fanboys for Nintendo ruin it for me as well. Because I don't like, if someone's trying ramming it down my throat, I'm just going to back up and I'm not going to like this even more.
I get that. In my rebuttal to your RTS statement would be...
If you say Final Fantasy...
No. My rebuttal to that would be games like Advance Wars, which is awesome, absolutely brilliant, 3DS, Nintendo DS, etc. Fantastic series of games. And then my other one would be sort of games like Pikmin, which is a little bit different. It's not quite exactly what I mentioned, but let's be honest, if we're talking about RTS, the home of that is absolutely the PC. You won't find that on any other console or any other format apart from PC.
Microsoft's trying to do it with Halo Wars.
Yeah, and failing.
But that is a Play Anywhere title.
But going back to, and like one of my major things for gaming, the one thing I go for above everything else is how a game looks. Like, right, okay, don't get me wrong, as we grew up, we thought games looked amazing as they were back then. They were fantastic. I love aesthetics. I cannot wait to go put a Titan X in my computer when I come back from deployment. It's going to be fantastic. My computer's just going to look beautiful.
But it is irrelevant as to whether or not it's a good game.
Right, no, but that's where I start. If it looks good, right, I'm in. Right, they've got me initially in. Because I'm going to be looking at this game for hours. I want to be visually stunned. I want to enjoy what I'm looking at.
But you might as well download a benchmark program.
Hang on, no, because then the next thing I look at, right, the game looks awesome. What's the story?
Pretty much
That's
any
the next
game
thing
released post 2010 is going to look awesome if you run it through a Titan X. Every single game.
I wouldn't say every single game.
Any game is going to look good on even a mid-range graphics card or up or modern console. It's going to look good.
However, the Nintendo until the release of correct me if I'm wrong, was it the Wii U? They eventually went HD.
Yeah.
They were miles behind on the generation then. Wii came out same time as the 360 and the PS3, which were HD ready. They were good to go. Games were looking brilliant. The Wii was in 720, and it looked terrible. And that straight away, I'm just like, well, if they can't be asked to keep up with everyone else and make their games look as good as what we are getting at the time, even if some of the games on Xbox and PS3 weren't as good, like as some of the titles on Wii, they still put the effort in to look great.
Yeah, it's all well and good in saying that though, but for me, graphics, and this is my basis as an old school gamer, I suppose, right? My ideal isn't graphics over gameplay, which is seemingly yours. Which you've just admitted.
I go the graphics over gameplay every time.
Yeah, which is wrong.
Why is it wrong?
It's wrong.
Gaming's an art form. Why can't it be visually stunning?
No, absolutely. It can be visually stunning. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. Which is the reason that I bought the PC that I did, right? I love I love seeing Rise of the Tomb Raider run it 60 frames at ultra settings, right? I love that. Absolutely love it, right? But believe you me, if it didn't have the gameplay that was attached to it, if it didn't have the sense of exploration, wonderment, and everything else that went with it, and the actual gameplay mechanics at a base core, I wouldn't play it. It'd be nice to look at.
Yeah.
But why the hell would I play it if it wasn't enjoyable?
No, but see, I work through as I go. I'm just saying that my first port of call is graphics. That's what I look at first.
Yeah.
But don't get
gents,
me wrong.
all
If
right.
a game looks
Gents,
fantastic
gents.
but plays like shit, I'm not going to play it.
Gents,
Yeah,
this
it
is a
plays
whole
like
other
shit.
discussion topic for a whole other time. I've got a couple of questions that I want to ask you. They sound loaded, but I swear they're not. I'm genuinely curious.
Okay.
I want quick answers to these, alright?
All right,
First one's
quick
for you, Dan.
fire round.
Let's go
Okay.
presidential election style.
Quick fire round.
Good fight.
I don't mean that.
Is the Nintendo Switch actually any good, or is it just good because Zelda's so good?
I believe it's actually quite a good console.
Okay.
Mainly because the console itself, it's been labelled with the issues and everything else that goes with it. And don't get me wrong, the whole screen scratching thing and everything else. However, I think a lot of that's down to people that don't even know how to handle it, really. But I think as a console, it's an absolutely innovative and completely different concept that we haven't seen before. I tell you what, you fire up your PC, you fire up your PS4, your Xbox One, whatever, right? And you tell me that you can take them on an aeroplane and sit there and play video games to your heart's content. You just can't. And that, to me, is completely innovative. It's completely different, which actually makes it a really, really good console. To be able to play console-worthy games like Breath of the Wild, pretty much the greatest game of all time at this point, on the go, on an aeroplane, in a car journey, wherever, for 3 hours at a time, you're doing something absolutely right. So to me...
Quick answer, sir.
Fuck's sake, Dan. We said quick fire round. Jesus.
Alright, next question.
Yeah.
Next question. Has the Nintendo Switch done
I
enough?
think you got to ask both of them.
You've got to ask George
Guys.
something, surely.
Pause for a sec. That is actually louder than Dan.
You can't eat those in
You
here.
can't eat that in here.
Who has a bowl of pork fresh?
Fuck's sake.
Who brings that into a recording?
This mic
It's
is sensitive.
super
I'm not actually
sensitive.
exaggerating. This
It's
mic
super
is sensitive
sensitive.
enough
We've
that
been hearing you downstairs.
when I turned up a quiet bit in post, I could hear what you guys were talking about word for word through the floor.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love you to bring them up here, but at the same time, every time I crunch that, Steve looks at me.
Yeah.
Dude, just leave the bowl. Like, you
Just
don't
not
have
the
to eat
scratchings. Anything but
Yeah.
scratching.
You can sit here and not
Porridge.
Marshmallows.
Yogurt.
Yeah.
Wine.
Peanut.
Seaman. Drink seaman. Oh, sorry.
Who has a bowl of pork fresh?
In
I
the
don't know. It's like the stereotypical fuck you food. Sorry, ask George.
Quick fire round.
Okay,
Right,
alright.
I'm just
You
going to
have to
start from
ask-
when I start asking the question.
You have to ask each of them the same question.
The same question.
Yeah, because it's not a debate if you don't
You've
answer
not played on
them.
this.
It's true, actually. No, it's absolutely true.
You can ask me what
This
what
isn't.
questions?
This is two quick questions for Dan about the Nintendo Switch, and then I've got a question for the both of you, as gamers, which
It's
is
just a
unrelated.
debate. It's like a...
Well, we need to wrap that up. We just got on forever.
That's
and
all right.
ever.
Yeah.
No, but
You
ask
just
him. That's why
you wanted our opinions.
Yeah,
on it.
that's why we shut him down. So then
Yeah.
you have to ask him the same question. We shut him down, and then
That's it.
bang, bang, bang.
You ask us the same question, regardless if I played it or not, because
Okay.
because then people can see
And you sound
why.
like
and-
you.
Okay.
why-
All right.
But you,
Okay, this is going to be a stupid question because you haven't played it.
yeah, but you what?
And
hold on,
is a
hold on.
stupid
Then why are we
question,
having the
really.
debate in the first place?
Hold on. What was the question? Was
Maybe
is the
ask
Switch
him a
any
different
good,
question.
or is it because Zelda's good? I'm like, and I've got my answer to it.
Okay. So George, what do you think? Is the Switch genuinely a good console, or does it just seem so good at the moment because Zelda is so good?
To me, I think it's purely because everyone wants to play Zelda, the new Zelda game. Everyone's buying a Switch. It's the only reason that console is selling at the moment. Until they get some more games on it, even if they're different third-party games, I think it's just solely Zelda.
Okay.
That is the reason.
So here's another question for the both of you. Has the success of the Nintendo Switch, this launch, done enough, you think, to re-establish Nintendo's reputation as a hardware producer in the same space as Sony and Microsoft, or not?
Absolutely. It's the highest selling and quickest selling Nintendo console of all time.
That says a lot,
Surpassed the Wii, surpassed everything else, the SNES, N64, GameCube, everything. It's surpassed absolutely everything. So if you were to look at Nintendo, and I'm not a fanboy, but if you look at Nintendo's sales figures, if nothing else, absolutely, it declares them a hardware giant. Absolutely, of course it does. Maybe not in the same breath it's Sony at this point, but we can't tell what the future holds.
George?
I personally, once again, go back to the previous question, it's because of Zelda. That is the only reason Nintendo fans want to play Zelda. The only way you can play Zelda is on the Switch. So they're buying the Switch. If they didn't have Zelda as a release title, they might not have done it.
Can I just take this one,
Please.
Zelda was also released on the Wii U. I just want to add...
What's the same Zelda?
The exact same game was released on the Wii U, right?
I didn't even know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
Exactly, and this is my point. It was released on the Wii U, okay? So it was released on that, it was released on the Switch. Both consoles, same time, pretty much identical game with various frame rate differences, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much the exact same game. Yet the Switch has been the quickest selling Nintendo console of all time. Yet it could be purchased on the Wii U.
I would like to add
How
though,
is Zelda
the Switch is a replacement for I would say the DS. It's a handheld console, which can be used as a gaming console, but it is handheld. So I can see that people want to play Zelda on the go. They don't want to play on the Wii.
Of course,
on the Wii U.
Of course,
so there you
want
go.
to play
So
Zelda.
that's why they bought the Switch.
And this is exactly my point, which is the absolute selling point for the Switch, isn't it? It's a handheld
Yeah, exactly.
console as well.
No, the only.
But what if they discontinued? They've discontinued the Wii U. They discontinued that, killed that off there.
Thank fuck.
The Holmes Games console, right?
Bring order, Steve. Bring order.
No.
Oh, no,
I'm almost done. They discontinued
I've got
the
another
Wii
question
U.
for him in a minute.
They discontinued the Wii U, right? But they're carrying on with the 3DS. They're still releasing games for the 3DS. AAA titles, they're still releasing for the 3DS, right? Alongside the Switch.
What, Pokemon?
So, absolutely, one of the highest selling games of all time. And one of the greatest games of all time.
Cultural sensation as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. But they've got the two consoles running side by side. So how you can turn around and say that the Switch is the replacement for the 3DS is completely wrong. It's wrong.
It will replace the 3DS.
It will, but it will replace the Wii U as well, which will focus everything from Nintendo onto that one platform, which will benefit gamers, whether they're Nintendo fanboys or whatever. It will benefit gamers as a whole because it is a singular platform that all of the greatest minds in video game development
I wouldn't go that far.
Absolutely.
Greatest minds in video game development.
Yeah,
work
absolutely.
At Nvidia, mate. They work at Nvidia.
Yeah, the Tegra X1 chip is in the Nintendo Switch.
Exactly. So
sorry, I can't drop this mic.
I'd say drop it, but it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Please don't.
They work.
The Nvidia.
So Nvidia, without Nvidia, they wouldn't have the Switch. There you go.
No,
PC gaming. Boom.
Can I
take it on the go?
I like where that's come to. Can I ask you a question that will bring us all back together as gamers? I don't know about so much you, Marcus. You've been sat there very patiently.
I'm happy to be
here. Yeah. I want to ask you a quick question. This is not about Nintendo. Okay?
But I'll give a good answer.
No. I think there's something we can all sort of agree on. This is not a question about Ghost Recon Wildlands. Right, okay. But the release...
Okay, it's gone. Sorry, I just didn't want to sneeze over you talking. Sorry.
Of Ghost Recon Wildlands has, in some people's opinion, gone not just some, but a long way in repairing Ubisoft's quite tragic reputation of server... what's it called?
Fuck-ups.
Well, yeah,
Disconnect
terrible
issues,
disconnect
yeah.
issues and stability, and coding issues. So I just wanted to get your thoughts, especially yours, George, because you've actually played the beta, on whether or not that's actually the case. In your opinion, is this enough to repair such a damaged reputation, or
I don't know. I didn't play it long enough. I played through a couple of the missions. And it's not Ghost Recon. That game is not a Ghost Recon game.
No, I wonder why is it called Ghost Recon?
It's
nothing to do
it's
with Ghost
like
Recon. Right?
well, the unit or the special forces are apparently Ghost Recon.
They're called ghosts. Okay.
Yeah, they are ghosts. But in line with the rest of Ghost Recon, the game doesn't fit with Ghost Recon. It to me is Just Cause without all the crazy. That's how I see that game. Like you've got
Crazy is the best bit about Just Cause.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the only reason
Right.
that you would play
Well,
it.
right, they've taken Just Cause and added a bit of Division.
Oh,
That's
we all like
that
a
is
bit of
essentially
Division.
that's essentially
True.
what that game is. And for me, I when I want to play a Ghost Recon game, I want to play a fully tactical game, which is what Ghost Recon was. It was a fully tactical first-person shooter,
Okay.
and I wouldn't say this game is. This
But
game
this
is
is a-
too open world.
We could talk about... This is not a question about Ghost Recon. It's a question about Ubisoft and their servers.
I didn't play long enough to get kicked from their servers.
That's a shame.
But however,
Because that would have taken you straight back to...
however, I played For Honor for the same amount of time, and we both played For Honor at the same time.
yes, we did.
We got one match in about 40 minutes. It was.
Yes, we did.
We logged into,
yes, we
which
did.
was ridiculous in itself.
We spent so much time just in server queues
And
and
that's-
servers crashing.
What was it? That was a couple of weeks difference between the betas.
Yeah.
And so I would say no, they haven't got it fixed yet. They would never have had that fixed in time. Like Ubisoft and their servers are ridiculous. They can't handle it.
Dan, what are your thoughts on this?
Again, I will freely admit I've not played the Wildlands beta at all. However, I've read widespread reports that the issues have still been prevalent with Ubisoft and their servers and everything else. I don't know.
What do you think they need to do to be able to fix that reputation?
The thing is, no matter what Ubisoft's reputation is, people will still buy their games. People will still buy them.
It's true.
And if nothing else, recently, if you want to base it off of anything, you base it off of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, which we pumped hours into,
Crazy
Xbox, PC, etc.
Nearly 24 hours straight one day.
Yeah, through our
very
gaming
true.
stream.
Yeah.
You know, that to me is pretty much a good example, because no matter what the issues were with that game upon release, right, and still to this day, right, we've had server connection issues. Myself and George have had server recently, really recently. Yet their season 2 pass, you went out and bought it.
Yeah, I got it.
You know,
No, not touching it.
contemplating maybe.
Not
I
touching
will
it,
admit that was somewhat an impulse buy
Yeah.
post breakup.
Yeah,
Oh, that's solid. I got some
yeah.
spare cash.
Yeah, why not? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got to buy dinner
I'm
this
not. I'm
week,
not going
but-
to touch it. I haven't played it long enough to warrant buying it. We
But-
don't play enough.
But this is the point. We still buy their products. You still played the beta. You still
Because
played
it was free, and I got it.
Yeah.
I got the invite
Absolutely.
emailed to me,
Yeah,
so I was
yeah.
like, oh, "Okay, it's free. I'll
But-
give it a go."
But yeah, ultimately, you still took. Not that most of us, of course, wouldn't, but you still took the time to download it and play it and give it time. And a lot of people will buy it off the back of that, and a lot of people will buy it off the back of it's a Ghost Recon game, and they'll buy it. It's the same reason that people buy EA games year after year. It's the same reason that yourself will buy Football Manager 2017 because it's a Football Manager game, or FIFA because it's a FIFA game. It's the latest, it's the newest, it's the update.
I don't like this
That is-
association you're giving me with FIFA.
No, yeah, alright. Yeah.
FIFA's
Fair-
not a
fair
game.
enough.
It's not a gamer's game. It's a
Yeah.
casual gamer's game.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. But so people will still buy Ubisoft games, ultimately, at the end of the day, no matter what server issues they have. I mean, let's take Battlefield 4 as an example as well. Steve, you know there's
Massive
also
netcode issues.
massive coding issues with that. Yeah, we still went out and bought Battlefield 1 day one. And we played it,
Pe-
you know?
People have had an issue with Ubisoft, not only for their servers though, but for pumping out games every year. Like Assassin's Creed, they pumped a game out every year, and
Yeah.
those games were getting worse and worse because they weren't being made properly. So now,
Unity,
Unity. Unity
Unity disaster.
was broken, and it really frustrates me because that was the one I didn't play. I missed out.
Buy that one.
I missed Unity out because I couldn't play it. It's unplayable.
Yeah, it was bollocks.
Which then screwed me up for playing Syndicate because I had no idea what was going on in that middle bit. I could have gone and read it somewhere. I don't want to go read it. I want to play it. Like that game's to be played. And so when I got Syndicate free with my graphics card, I went to go play that, and I just wasn't into it because obviously I've missed something. That missing link between Black Flag, and Syndicate. I'm missing that link. But now, hopefully, with them taking 2 years apart between Assassin's Creed games, they might build up their reputation that, yes, they can make a AAA game, they just need the required time that everyone else takes.
So we need to wrap this up then, gents. I wanna end this with a little bit of good news. At the time of recording, it's been announced that British cult comedy legends Nick Frost and Simon Pegg have officially announced that they are reuniting for a new comedy project. No details on what, but that's exciting, right?
Always is. If they
Cornetto trilogy, which we
quadrilogy. Let's hope that goes that way.
Hopefully.
You need Edgar Wright though for.
You do. We need Edgar Wright, and if Edgar Wright gets in on that, sorted.
Mind you, what was the last film that he made? It was
Edgar Wright.
Yeah,
He got taken off. That was it.
Where's the actual last one? Was it Scott Pilgrim?
No, I think it was World's End.
Yeah, it was World's End, which was pretty.
Well, then.
It was watchable, but it wasn't.
No,
World's End was enjoyable.
I like that film. I prefer it to Hot Fuzz.
Seriously?
Yeah, we've had this. Let's not do another debate.
No. Wouldn't dream of it.
All right.
His last film was World's End.
All right. I think we're done here.
Can we have a winner, please?
Well, this brings me on to a point.
The listeners are the winners.
Apparently, I'm anchoring it because I've just started speaking.
You are staying ahead.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Oh God. Please don't knock me over.
In the studio.
We're gonna set up a Twitter poll as to who won this little shindig. Be it Dan, be it George. I think I know. I think Steve may know.
I have an opinion.
We all have our opinions. But it's the people that matter. So, we're going to set up a poll.
Nintendo fanboys,
settle down, sir. Please settle down. We're going to set up a poll. The people will choose the victor on this one. Other than that, once we get the result in, I think we'll highlight that on our various medias and probably on the next podcast. Other than that, though, if you could please hit up the old Super Loot Crate. Because, hey, who doesn't like getting cool shit delivered to their door? Steve, do you like that?
I absolutely love that. I live for it.
Why wouldn't you? That's my question.
Best thing
Why
ever.
wouldn't you? Other than that, if you want to hit us up, I don't know where you're listening to this because we're going to have it on various bits and pieces, but we're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, so I'm Rumour Has It.
And Twitch.
And Twitch.
Don't forget that.
Yes, and on YouTube if you're not listening to this on YouTube. Steve's on there with his playthroughs. I'm putting out interviews on can'tpauses.com. Latest one was the Game of Thrones guys, which was pretty good, I think.
Very good. Very, very good.
Yeah, you don't need to thumbs up, George. Just say it's good.
It's very good.
Cool, excellent. But on that, we are done. We are out. So vote on the poll on Twitter or post a comment on Facebook as who you think won. And we'll be back with another podcast quite quickly because we seem to be getting them out reasonably quick. So,
Churning them
thank
through.
you. Bye.
Tons of content. Cheerio.